And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, marketing, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. That's our website. Plethora of information available for you there. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we've vetted, we bring in studio to educate you, to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. A plethora of topics. Over 80 show categories now with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Over 4 years on the air now, helping you win, getting comments and concerns and text and tweets all day. Of happy customers, people that we've helped with credit repair, estate planning, tax planning, marketing, websites, real estate, of course. So many other ways that we can help you win in any marketplace. That is the number one goal of this show. Now, our hotel partner, we want to talk to you about Kipton's The Hotel Zamora in beautiful St. Pete Beach. If you haven't seen this place, you've got to check it out. Kipton's The Hotel Zamora, Spanish ancestry, modern flair, Mediterranean palace. It's beautiful luxury suites overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, and rooftop yoga on the weekends. And it's a great opportunity to get out there and see what Tampa Bay has to offer, especially the South Beach there, St. Pete, Paso Grill area, waterfront, so you can pull your boat up if you're a boater like me. I love getting out there on Freedom Boat Club on the weekends, and you can pull your boat up. There's a hot tub pool area, as well as the Castile restaurant is awesome. So shout out to our hotel partner, Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. Let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Back in studio, Anna Vanlandingham, Pinterest Pro Solutions, social media, and marketing expert. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm glad to be here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Pinterest Lens, which is a great new tool that Pinterest has rolled out just within the last month.
Love it, love it. Pinterest Lens. Let's find out more about that. Teo Leonard, PC design, the web design ninja of Tampa Bay.
You got it. Hey, thanks, Brandon. Always a pleasure to be here. I thought today we'd talk a little bit about some of the issues that some customers have had in the last couple weeks regarding they find out that they don't actually own their website. Ooh. Or they don't own their domain, and trying to get out of that hostage situation, as well as how to come up with content ideas for your website. You know, some ideas and tips to come up with some creative, a plethora. Yeah, since you love that word.
Love
it. A plethora of content ideas to populate your website with.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All about digital these days. So many things happening. And if you're not online, if you're not found online, then your competition is going to be 10x in your growth and taking your business growth. Now, we also have a book here. As you know, I'm a published author and a professional speaker, and I've got the Become the MVP in Your Industry on Amazon. We'd love for you to check it out. Now, teaching you how basically a step-by-step way to grow your sphere of influence, become the celebrity in your marketplace. And if you don't want to go full broadcast, radio, and TV like we've done, you can simply do a podcast, and this book will teach you how. It's on Amazon. Check it out and buy a copy, like it, and review it. We'd greatly appreciate that. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder. If you throw a ladder in your truck, this show's for you. We want to help you win. And we always start the show off with a little personal development. We call it our 2-minute audible. We got Peyton Manning there helping us with the audible. But, as we know in this life, our decisions determine our destiny. So every day we have a choice. We can choose to be in a great mood, what Tony Robbins calls, my mentor, Tony Robbins calls a beautiful state. Or we can let the tension and the stress of this world get to us, and we can live in a suffering state. Now, when you're in that suffering state, you're not going to be on point. You're going to be sluggish. You're going to be lackadaisical. You're not going to be able to make decisions as clearly. You're going to have kind of a foggy head. But if you choose to live in a beautiful state, you're going to have appreciation and gratefulness on the top of your mind. You're going to be more in sync with your heart, your soul, your spirit, and you're going to be able to make clear decisions. You're going to be able to, when you're in a beautiful state, you express love, joy, playfulness, gratitude, ease, creativity, curiosity, appreciation, and when you know exactly what to do. You know, life feels more in a natural flow, kind of like the athletes that you see that are in that zone. They call it the zone. Remember back in the day, Michael Jordan was in the zone. He'd put up so many points and deliver those things for their team. So you want to think about that and deliver that for your team. Whatever your home team is, your family, your business, you want to be on point, and you want to be living in a beautiful state as often as you can. Now, what he's developed is he calls the 90-second rule. See, whenever we feel this stress, this tension happening in our lives, we feel it in our heart, we feel it in our gut. The number one thing to do, the first step, is to actually identify it. Okay, say, all right, I've got this stress happening. I feel it happening in my body now. So, number one, now we recognized it. Number two, what we want to do is we want to slow our breathing down. Deep breath, slow the breathing. Deep breath. Take your time. Now, what you want to do is identify that you're having those thoughts. Think about it. Look, our crazy mind, we got these crazy thoughts. We're not going to lose our business. We're going to lose respect. And it all boils down to, as well, when you have these thoughts, taking a step back, is a thought of loss, that you're going to have loss. You're going to have less of something of value, or never. Those are the top three that happen: loss, less, or never. But he's developed a 90-second rule. So you have 90 seconds to snap yourself out of it, get back into a positive state, and be a beautiful and smiling person the rest of the day. And you're going to positively influence. There's a happiness factor in life. As you go through life as a happy mood, you're going to have more successful relationships and business. More people are going to want to do business with you. And also from a health standpoint, your cells are going to be volumized. Your cells are going to be more in line with the success and prosperity, and your immune system is going to be stronger. So there's so many reasons why you want to stay on that point and live in a beautiful state. And that's our 2-minute drill for today. So let's go ahead and jump into this great content here. Anna Vanlandingham, Pinterest Pro. So Pinterest is something that some business owners still overlook, but it's one of those sites that it's gaining traction.
Yes, it is. And to kind of get that stereotypical thing away, over the past year, 50% of the new users on Pinterest are men. And a lot of people feel like it's just for women. Also, Bank of America used Pinterest to reach 6 million people in less than 5 months. And that's Bank of America, which of course is a business that most people think would never use Pinterest. So just to kind of give you an idea of how some of these large businesses are really using Pinterest. Amazon is one of the largest Fortune 500 companies on Pinterest. And there's a new tool that they have. It's called the Lens. Mm-hmm. And up by the search bar, there's a little red camera. And what you can do is you click on that camera and you take a picture of an object. I could take a picture of this water bottle, okay? And then that lens would find other water bottles like that on Pinterest. I did some experimenting at home to, get a feel for how the lens worked. And you have to make sure that you really zero in on the object, mm-hmm. or you might get something strange. I was just playing around, and I zoomed in on a photograph of my husband and I, and it brought up a Mickey Mouse telephone. So I'm not real sure how that related, but so you have to be careful. The other great part about that is that not only does it bring up suggested images of that, it also has keywords around it.
Right.
Now you're thinking, well, what's that have to do with my business? Well, stop and think about it a minute. If somebody takes a photograph with using that lens of, say, a chair, and you're in the furniture business, mm-hmm. and you have a Pinterest account, then that chair that you have for sale is going to come up whenever they take that photograph with the lens. Also, with the keywords, it helps you with the keywords. So, it can be a very powerful tool for a business owner because you're going to get yourself out there more. And of course, along with that, you want to make sure that you're using the keywords in your descriptions so that your chair does come up. Or if you're in the travel industry, a lot of people on Pinterest, what a lot of people don't realize is that people on Pinterest are there to buy something.
Right.
Okay? They're not there to find out what's going on with their friends or the politics or whatever.
Right.
They're there to buy something. So let's say that, you're in the travel industry, then someone that's there looking for a new and different place to go on vacation, then, they type in, unusual, unique vacation spots, then your company is going to come up, and that's a way of getting your foot in the door to more clients and get that traffic to your website.
Perfect.
So it's a great tool for business owners out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it makes sense. You go to Facebook, you're going to try to figure out, hey, what's going on with the friends or family, the nephew's baseball game, those types of things. But Pinterest, I have heard and seen some of the studies you've shown me that people go there to make decisions. So we're going to hear more from our expert contributors. We've got in studio as well, later rival here, Deb Schreiber in studio, Teo Leonard, and Anna Vanlandingham. So more from our experts. Do not touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com. welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, quarterback show. Former USF football player, played on the inaugural team, University of South Florida, and excited about some of the USF Bulls, some of the stuff happening around the program. And a lot of things happening in Tampa Bay as well. Big growth in the real estate sectors. Of course, a lot of infrastructure growth and jobs coming to Tampa Bay. Real excited about things happening here in the marketplace. And as the owner of Platinum MVP Realty, I want to let you know about a hot listing I got on Lakefront here in Carrollwood area. It's 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard. 5-bedroom, 3-bath property, just reduced down to $520,000 on a ski lake. It's a beautiful balcony view, waterfront home with an enclosed pool and lanai area. 5-bedroom, 3-bath home on a corner lot in Carrollwood. $520,000, 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard, and beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, we got a digital marketing seminar coming up here as well in April, on April 21st. We've got Friday, April 21st, 3 o'clock to 5:30 right here at iHeartRadio. Free event. All you have to do is register for the event. Submit the form at consumerqb.com. Just submit the form. The email will come directly to me. Just tell me you want to RSVP, you plus one, if you want to come in and check it out. Digital marketing, learning how to grow your business. We got a success coach, a business coach there as well. Patrick Leask, action coach, going to be in the house as well. So 3 to 5:30 at iHeart, Friday the 21st. And then at 5:30, we're taking it over to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner. We're going to have a awesome happy hour at Hula Bay Friday the 21st as well, and another one of our live events, compliments of Rhymes Media, and have a lot of fun. And Hula Bay, by the way, is our restaurant partner. If you haven't checked it out, it's 5210 Tyson Avenue in South Tampa. Beautiful waterfront ambiance. Excellent food, wide variety on the menu, and you also have fresh tuna that's shipped in every 2 days from Hawaii. Fresh tuna from Hawaii every 2 days, and the best sushi in all of Tampa Bay. So make sure you go say hello to Mike Finnegan and Todd over there, the managers. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. That's our running joke here. So you're going to get that free water with lemon. Also at the Zamora, you do have a QB code there. If you want to go stay at the Hotel Zamora, you get a 15 to 20% discount depending on when you stay. So just let them know at the Hotel Zamora that the real estate quarterback sent you, and they're going to take care of you there. So in studio, we've got Anna Vanlandingham, Pinterest Pro Solutions, Teo Leonard, the web design ninja of Tampa Bay, as well as Debra Schreiber representing Rhymes Media. And we're here in studio live from iHeartRadio. Let's jump right back into it, Anna. So we talked about Pinterest. What else do people need to know about Pinterest, especially business owners, people looking to profit off of their sites?
One of the main things that a business owner needs to realize is that to use Pinterest or really any social media, you have to have a good website.
Right.
And if you don't have a good place to send people, then it's not going to work for you. You know, I was talking about the lens and how that could be very effective for your pins to come up. But, you know, if you don't have those pins set up to where they can click on those and it takes them to your website, then it's not going to do you any good. And I'm sure you can talk about websites with that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all about the conversion. It's interesting. We pin a lot of our designs. We've done now over 3,000 websites, 3,001 to be exact, which you go, wow, that's a lot. Except when you factor in, I got 9 employees that are building sites, and we've been doing it for just over 23 years. It kind of breaks down into a lot of hours per site. But on that conversion side, we will pin our designs on Pinterest, and we get probably 2 or 3 customers a month who found us on Pinterest and link back through the Web Design Ninja website, and then call and go, hey, I like that design. Can you build me something just like it? No, because we build unique for every customer, but it does convert. You know, as long as you have a good site behind it. Your website has to work with social media, so Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, etc., but you have to have that website. I mean, we know that 68% of the referrals, and this is a year old, I don't have the current stat, of people that are referred to your business will look you up on your website.
Right.
You know, and that's a hard referral. That's not just, you know, oh, who am I looking for? That is Brandon Rhyme refers me, they're going to 68% of those people are going to look you up on the website. It's absolutely imperative that you have a quality site.
Right.
Sure.
Teo, we tell clients who want to come to the show, if they're going to be on the show, we tell them that you have to make sure that your website is up and running. As a matter of fact, we have turned people away from the show because their website's down or their website is not optimized, because it really is a reflection of you and your authenticity and also your expertise. I mean, it's your business is out there.
You know, and it's interesting. A lot of people go, "Oh, I got to have a website so people can find me on the internet. I'm going to sell millions of dollars of my widget because I have a website." That's not really the case. You also have to look at it from a validation standpoint. I have a customer. They've been a customer of mine since 1996, and they sell wastewater treatment facilities. Average sale is $3 to $4 million. So they sell to cities and large factories, et cetera, that need to purify the water to dump it back into the sewer system. The interesting part about that is if you would have told me that a really good-looking website was important for their business, I would say, as long as you have your basic information, it would matter. We took it upon ourselves when I hired a couple new employees as a test. We took some of my very long-term customers and said, hey, these sites are 5 years old or 10 years old. Let's refresh them and build them. And we had picked this company in Minnesota. And we kind of forgot to tell them that we had revamped their site. They're the customer that just says, just do it, make it happen, send us a bill or whatever. And all of a sudden they started getting all these comments about, hey, your site looks great, your site looks great. And they're all talking. They're like, hey, did we have Teo redo something? They're like, no, I don't think so. And then they looked and said, wow, this looks great, because we made it so it was mobile optimized. This was about 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing about that is they had a bid in for a large bottling facility for a $3.5 million project. And the next day they got the award and they got the project. And being the sales guys that they are, they're like, hey, why did we get the project? And they go, frankly, it was apples to apples between you and 2 other people, but your website was so much better than your competitors that we're going to give you the jump ball, because if you're going to have the pride in your online presence, then we know that you're going to have the pride to take care of our project and solution as well.
Makes a lot of sense.
And when we look at this, they now have, in the last 3.5 years, and we're going to rebuild it again, they've gotten somewhere over $40 million worth of jump ball business that they wouldn't have got, or they might not have gotten, without that professional website. And it's those little details that we build into every site, that doing a site on your own or having your neighbor's friend who does a couple of these, they miss those points. They miss those important features that you have to have. Like
kid's soccer coach, man.
Oh,
same in real estate. The kid's soccer coach, he's got to be a great realtor. He coaches our soccer team.
Absolutely. And there's something about the experience and the quality and the attention to detail that really do make a big difference. So.
That's so true. I remember when I moved here, it's been almost 3 years, I was with Dex, and I would go into potential customers' stores and offices, and they would say, "Oh no, my cousin's sister's boyfriend is doing a website for me for free." Well, I'm sorry, but you get what you pay for, because that website, I can guarantee you, is not directing any traffic to that business.
Yeah.
And not only that, it can actually hurt you. For example, the phone number, the click to call, we know that 75% of the people, if they're looking to contact you, if it doesn't have the right information readily accessible on your mobile device, they're just going to go next. Right. And that's even if they want to call you, they're not going to take the time to do that.
To dig around, scroll down here, click that page, go to that page. Mm-hmm. Now, if you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host. That's Debra Schreiber here. We got Teo Leonard and Anna Vanlandingham. Now, Anna, on the flip side of that, a lot of people are in the web industry, as we were just discussing. Not many people are zeroing in and focusing on Pinterest like you do.
No, they're not. And that's why whenever I retired from teaching, I decided to specialize in a niche, because I wanted to be very good at what I did. And so instead of trying to do all the social media and so forth, I thought, no, I'm just going to zero in on Pinterest. I really like Pinterest because I felt like it was a positive environment, and I saw the potential of it as a tool. And talking about websites and how they need to have certain things on there, that's one of the things about people's Pinterest accounts is a lot of times they don't put the URL so that when people click on that image, it takes them to their website.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is they don't write descriptions, and they don't write keyword sensitive descriptions. I've said this before here, and I'll say it again. You need to remember that Pinterest is the people that founded Pinterest are looking at it as a search engine that's going to compete with Google. And right now, Google's had some problems because they've been putting ads next to bad content. So, maybe that's the way that Pinterest is really going to make a headway with that.
Yeah.
But people do use it as a search engine also.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of social media, different things happening in that space. Digital marketing, real heavy on marketing on today's show. We want you to stay with us. We're going to talk about also the top 10 ways to use Pinterest to drive traffic to your website, and more from our expert contributors helping you win in any marketplace. This segment's brought to you by the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. The Maids Cleaning Service, they are referred for a reason. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the maids. Stay with us. On the flip side, we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to use Pinterest to drive website traffic. Consumer QB Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, The Business Journal, and others, recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Got a couple of hot listings here. Vacant land for you. Any builders, developers, entrepreneurs out here, 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner. This is a 84-acre parcel of land. Perfect development opportunity. $1.79 million listing of Platinum MVP Realty. 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner out in East Hillsborough County. Also have a property right around the corner from it as well, vacant land, 11515 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Seffner, 11515 East Dr. MLK. Now, this is an awesome opportunity as well. It's a little less land. It's about an acre or so, 6-lane highway, prime opportunity to build, and you're just a minute or two from the expressway there in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
This segment is brought to you by Back In Health Massage. My massage therapist, Michael Vogt, with Back In Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. He does a great job. He's voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards, is Michael Vogt with Back In Health Massage. And we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida. And we're talking all things marketing today. We've got digital marketing on the top of mind and helping our business owners out there, small and medium-sized business owners, win in any marketplace, you know. And that's a real deep passion of mine. It's helping consumers, helping business owners win. And in studio today, we've got Anna Vanlandingham, Pinterest Pro Solutions, Teo Leonard, he's the web design ninja of Tampa Bay, as well as Debra Schreiber with Rhymes Media. So we're here in studio. We're having a lot of fun with you. When we think about digital marketing, let's maybe go around the horn here and kind of get a topic. When we see a lot of the things happening, we've got traditional mediums, especially you look at print and newspapers. You know, newspapers, obviously, we all know are dwindling. Less and less people are looking at that. What do you think is one of the top trends that you're seeing out there right now? We'll get your opinion, Anna, and then we'll go around the horn. What's the number one top trend that you see happening?
Well, one of the things that I've really noticed, because I've seen a lot of stats on this, is that you're seeing a lot of your major retailers closing their storefronts.
That's right.
And that's because of the fact that e-commerce is growing so.
That's right.
And even like Walmart is closing some of theirs because they do so much more online business.
Yeah.
And so if you're a business owner, that's something to stop and think about, you know, because the competitive market is out there with the e-commerce, the online presence. And with social media, I don't care if it's Pinterest or Facebook or whatever, that is one of those drivers of traffic to your website.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of the ways to, I always say, it's like that first date. It's, you know, the way to get to know your customer and for them to get to know you and trust you, and then they're going to want to do business with you.
Yeah, that's right. JCPenney's just shut down some shops. The malls, less and less people going to the mall. Now you do have the people that like to go try everything on. It's, you know, me, I'll do both. I'll go in and try stuff on, or I'll just have it shipped to the house. If it doesn't fit, I'll just put it back in a box, send it back to Amazon or wherever I purchase it at. What's the number one trend you're seeing?
You know, it's kind of twofold. One is we're seeing more and more mobile. We're seeing more people get away from traditional computers and using their tablets and their phones. The other side of that is also the impatience of the consumer. You know, people don't have patience. They, and this is where us as website developers, I look at it more of a developer than a designer viewpoint, is we track, you know, having 2,000 happy customers is great because we can track all that data. And it's amazing the short fuse that people have to make the decision. It really is. If you don't get your message across properly, they leave immediately. On the other hand, if you can fine-tune and adjust that message, you see them immediately. They go to the page, they click on one or two things, they click the phone number and call the customer. And we're seeing more and more click to call than you know, sending emails and stuff like that.
Right.
We're still seeing a lot of that. A lot of people want to be anonymous. You know, they use the web, and you know, I don't want to talk to a salesperson and be hounded. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we get those emails. You know, how much is a new air conditioning system for my house? Well, you
Yeah.
can't really answer that. You got to actually talk to people about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But so we're removing more of the contact forms, but you got to get the message across properly on the site, or people don't have the
Yeah,
patience
instant
to look at it.
gratification.
Yep.
People are, we all hear about that, the instant gratification that we live in.
Right.
And people want it now.
Oh yeah,
that's-
Prime Now is on my speed dial. You know.
Well, that's the beauty of digital marketing is you have your analytics right there in front of you that you can see your bounce rate, you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
your click-through rate, and you can also determine very quickly your ROI. So it's a really great opportunity for a business to capture new clients. Or if something's not working, you can tweak it relatively quickly.
And that's a good point. You bring up the bounce rate, which the bounce rate, for people that don't know, those are the people that go to your homepage and then leave. What most of my competition, for lack of a better word, they don't track the call buttons or how many people are clicking on the phone number for whatever reason. And I'm amazed when we inherit a lot of projects, about 3 a week, and they're like, oh, the bounce rate's high. Well, then we look and go, yeah, but 86% of those bounces are clicking on your phone
Right.
to call you. So that's actually a very successful site, but you have to take that into consideration. That's something that a lot of people don't track, that analytic. There's a lot of certain analytics you can do on that.
Right.
And that's a good point about the bounce rate, because for Pinterest, the bounce rate is really high, but it's because you put the specific URL to send them to the specific page on the website.
Correct.
Not just to the home page, so they have
Yep.
to look for it. And so the average bounce rate for Pinterest is much higher than for a lot of other industries.
But
Yeah.
that could be true too, because a lot of people going on to Pinterest are going on there for research purposes. So
That's
they're
how I
checking
use
out
it.
several different products. I know that's how I use it as well. I love Pinterest, but I'm one of those people too, Teo, that uses a portable device constantly. So I know that's where everything's going to portable. So if it's not my iPhone, it's an iPad. So I've got Pinterest on my iPad so that if I'm at Home Depot, I can see what color schemes I need or what product that I want. So I can see why that bounce rate would be so high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and talking about doing the research on Pinterest, that's one of the things that I also emphasize to people is on Pinterest you can establish yourself as a thought leader. Everybody wants to be a thought leader in their
Right.
industry. Well, you can do that on Pinterest by having good content there, because people are doing research and looking for, good information on specific topics.
Yeah, that's the age of society we're in. By the way, I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host. In studio today, we've got Anna Vanlandingham, Teo Leonard, and Deb Schreiber. And yeah, the age that we're in, there's so much information, and people don't have the time. And back to your point, Teo, the impatience factor. People, it's such a push to take the time to actually read through the data. People want to see a lot more video. They'd rather just watch a quick video, a real simplified version of whatever your main selling points are. The magic of 3, use 3. Overselling, using too many things is going to complicate it. And if what the old saying is, simplicity sells, complexity repels, right? So when you think about that from a digital marketing standpoint, you want to be straight to the point. You want to talk about the key, the features and benefits. And number one is, how is it going to help that customer live a better life? How's it going to benefit them over your competitor? And that's that's a key point when you're looking at any business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got the top 10 ways to use Pinterest to drive traffic. Number 1, Anna.
Keywords.
Keywords?
Keywords. Did I say keywords?
Keywords. Yes, you said keywords.
Add your website.
Yeah, your website. You need to have a good website.
Verify the website.
How about
And
graphic?
You need to make sure that you have quality images, and with that quality images, that they're vertical images, because that's how Pinterest is set up, and you'll get people's attention more. Like you said, verify the website. Also, consistency. And a lot of times I work with clients, and I'll help. They'll pay me to set up the account, and then they're going to take it over, and I'll show them what all they need to do, and then they'll go, I need to do this every day. Well, yeah.
Create
Or at
boards.
least once a week. At least once a week, or schedule it out.
Exactly, something.
Oh.
But they think that you can just set it up and let it run, yeah. And then also stay in your niche. It's
Yeah.
very important, because with the Pinterest search ranking that they have now, if you have boards that are not related to your niche, then it's going to hurt you in the ranking. It's going to be a negative for you. So
Here's a good one. The best times to pin, it says between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon is typically a better time than after 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. at night.
I
Do you
disagree with that.
Yep. Well, this is an article, socialmarketingwriting.com.
Was it soccer moms waiting in the car line?
Yeah, right.
Yes, 2
pick up
to
the
4.
kids?
They say 2 to 4 is a good time. I think
good call.
actually it's those people that are bored at work.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
That's
after
true,
lunch,
too.
that
Yeah,
work
most of
coma,
the stuff done.
that
We're
who are
coming
they
into
coma.
we're coming into our next break here. But when we come back, we're going to continue the marketing discussion. Let anyone know that's interested in our digital marketing seminar coming up on Friday the 21st rather, April the 21st, right here at iHeartRadio, 3 to 5:30. It's a free event. You got to RSVP, consumerqb.com, or on our hotline at 813-917-1894.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. And this segment is brought to you by Healthy Gourmet Delivered Fresh. A big shout out to our partner here, Felicia Lacaille, with Healthy Gourmet meal plan starting at $90 a week. You get meals dropped off, delivered to your home or office. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my delivery dates. Organic veggies, natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times per week. Meal plan starting at only $90. You get 10 meals for $90. So it's a great opportunity to live that healthy lifestyle and utilize that executive style lifestyle as well, where you're getting meals delivered, less time cooking, less time preparation, and more time focused on what you want to focus on, whether it's your prosperity and business and success, maybe more family time, more downtime. So Healthy Gourmet. I want to remind you our hotline number, 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
Give us a call, shoot a text, 813-917-1894.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Hot listing here in Gibsonton, Florida, 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton, 4-bedroom, 3-bath property. Now, this is over 4.5 acres. You've got a commercial parcel of land also on this property, and it's generating $2,000 a month of income, so it practically pays for itself. 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton. It's $440,000, and the residential property is 4 bedrooms, 3-bath, 3,400 plus square feet, and you have a pool and a spa right here as well. So 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton, another beautiful Tampa Bay property. All right, in studio today with me, we've got Anna Vanlandingham. She's the Pinterest Pro. We got Leonard, the web design ninja of Tampa Bay, as well as Debra Schreiber. She's the VP of Sales and Marketing with Rhymes Media. And we're talking about Pinterest today as well. We talked about the top 10 ways to use Pinterest to drive traffic to your website. So number 1 is add a website. Number 2 is have it verified, making sure that it is verified. You want to add the URL to the pinned description. You want to elaborate on that one a little bit?
Well, whenever you're creating a pin for Pinterest, if you're uploading an image, which I do that a lot, there's this place for you to put the URL to specifically send them to where they can either get more information or they can purchase the product.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that you have that. And with writing the description, you want to make sure you don't want to keyword stuff it, so to speak, but you want to use the keywords because that will help you with getting found when someone types in something in the search bar of Pinterest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. They go on Pinterest to search for things. So those are the ways that help you to get found.
Yeah, very interesting, very very similar to the blogging idea. And then I was talking with Chris Krimitsos. They just had that movie premiere go really viral now nationwide. They're doing a lot of openings, premieres in Key West and Miami, different places. So hats off to Chris Krimitsos and those guys. But they're doing a lot of podcasting now. So podcasting seems to be the new blogging, and it's a way that you can pick a niche. You can really just kind of grow your sphere of influence in that niche. And Taylor, you've seen a lot of things in that podcast space too, aren't we?
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword in that you have a select group of people that are really into watching podcasts and paying attention or listening to it. They're setting it up with their iTunes in their car. Good news for iPhones because they're probably selling more, but the podcasting is working well. However, I'm still seeing a whole huge market that's not into podcasting. They're still reading it, and I always tell people when they're going to write their blog or they're going to do their podcast and then translate it into a blog, you got to pay attention to your audience's Google. Mm-hmm. It's not the people that you think are listening to it. On the podcast side, a lot of people are listening to it, so that's very specific. But on the blog side or from the search engine standpoint, it has to be descriptive, and you have to write it in a way that makes sense for Google so that they pick up all those keywords and work on that, if that makes sense. It's kind of a...
Well, right, and to the keyword thing, sometimes you need, because your field is so highly competitive, you need to find unique keywords, don't you?
Yeah, and you have to be, go for the simple ones or what we call the long tail keywords. For example, I'm like on page 3 for Tampa web design. I could care less because there's so many people that are putting in Tampa web design that I have to go through the people that really can't afford our services, or they have this vision, I can build Facebook for $500. That doesn't work that way. So I focused on website repair or fixing a problem website and things like that. And so my articles are showing up very, very well for those niche words, and I get 3 to 5 customers a week who had a problem with their previous web person. They find out they don't own their website, or they're paying $300 a month for continued support when it should be more like $50. And I pick up on those, and those are excellent customers for me. And we do the same with our customers as we focus on these niches that are very profitable. And it doesn't matter that you show up as Tampa electrician, as long as you are showing up for the specific neighborhoods or the general areas that you want to migrate into,
right?
And dominate that market,
right? Because you don't want to pull in. Some businesses want to pull in locally. They don't want to pull in somebody from California, for instance.
Correct.
And I hear that complaint a lot. Where, hey, I'm trying to pull these companies and businesses that are in the Clearwater area in the Tampa Bay area, and I'm getting all these business. Why am I getting all these businesses from California? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's because they're putting it in very general, and then they realize that their host is in California, or their host is in Dallas or Chicago, and unless you're taking the time to do that geographical keyword, you lose out on that. What I like to encourage, we live in Apollo Beach. My office is in Riverview. I have a lot of customers from Manatee through Tampa, but I have a lot in the South Shore that we work on, and I'm always like, put in your when you're doing a project for your blog, talk about how you were doing it in Waterset or in Mira Bay or in Ruskin or all these little communities. If you're in Tampa, you talk about Lake Magdalene. I can never pronounce that, but
Lake Magdalene?
Lake Magdalene or Carrollwood, et cetera, because Carrollwood, if you focus on Lake Magdalene, that's different than Carrollwood, although it is part of Carrollwood, or it is Carrollwood, but people will search very specifically. I'm amazed how many people search, Mira Bay electrician, and Mira Bay's a neighborhood, there's 1,500, 2,000 homes in there.
Yeah.
And so you want to be very specific, and you don't want to keyword stuff because you'll get penalized. So you want your descriptions and your keywords to match what your product or what your topic is.
Yeah, absolutely. The good friend Google there. You want to make sure they have the spiders or whatever that technical term is. They're digging through there. The crawlers are looking for the content, and you got to make sure that you're putting it in there properly. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. All right, lightning round. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid. We'll go right here. Anna Vanlandingham, you're up first.
Make sure that you stay in your niche, as I was talking about earlier, and along with that you have quality images that are vertical, and the ideal size is 735 by 1200, something along those lines.
Excellent tip. Teo Leonard.
Ours is that you make sure, besides having a professional site, you make sure that you own your website. You own the source code. You own it. It's using industry standard development, and that get away from your Gmail or AOL or Verizon emails. We had a bunch of customers a year ago. They all had Bell South. We had a bunch of customers all over the U.S., and Bell South says, hey, we're not going to offer email anymore. So all of a sudden, all these businesses were using Bell South when they should have used, info@yourbusiness.com.
Right.
So make sure you own your domain name. And the crazy part is we run into like churches or nonprofits where somebody goes, oh, I'll register the domain name. Well, then they leave. And they don't have their domain name. They don't have access to it. They don't have access to the website, et cetera. So hire a professional that has been around for a long time and make sure you own it. And if you don't, give us a call, thewebdesignninja.com.
That's right.
Well, it's so funny. People don't realize how much networking goes on in studio here, but it's huge. And I just met somebody from one of my old networking. I won't mention the name, but anyway, I've been here almost 3 years, and I remember standing up in front of a group of mostly gentlemen, but about 70 people, and saying that social media was going to be the way that you're going to promote your business. Yes, you're going to still have to have a SEO website, but you're still going to have to promote your business on social media. And they all pretty much either had a blank stare or they laughed at me. And now, hello, guess what? They all, I bet you, I bet you $100 that they all pretty much have a Facebook business page, so that
It's
or a
online.
Pinterest page that they're promoting their business. So there's, have a business page that doesn't have a picture of your family sitting on the front steps, okay? That you're just promoting your business on. Don't clutter up your Facebook personal page with that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. I want to thank all the folks behind the scenes making it happen, and our listeners and viewers of our television show as well. Remind you, consumerqb.com is where you can find all the content, expert contributors links, and the live stream as well to our TV show. And we want to remind you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have in your food or pantry, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work. Be a force for good in the community and volunteer and help others out, and be a force for good. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show right here on iHeartRadio. And please check out realestateradiotampa.com to buy or sell real estate and see all of his expert contributors. Thank you.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.